Hi, everyone. It's been more than a year since we reviewed the Costa Smeralda. Well, we just got back from 1 week on board the Costa Smeralda, and today I think we're excited, right?
Absolutely.
We are excited to give you an updated review of what life is like on board the Costa Smeralda. Let me tell you, a few things have changed since our last time on board, and we cannot wait to tell you everything. As usual, we're going to review each and every aspect of our cruise, from boarding to food to service, the cabin, and so much more. And of course, we're going to focus mostly on what has changed since the last time on board, but don't worry, you don't have to watch the old video because you're going to see that this is amazing. As usual, we'll rate each aspect from 1 to 5 anchors, but we'll also have a special reward for each aspect of the cruise that we like the most. Let's call it the Ricker and Andrea special. Keep in mind, this video is not sponsored by Costa, and we paid for our cruise out of our own pocket. This way, we can only give you our honest opinion.
Absolutely.
Hi, everyone. I'm Rick.
And I'm Andrea, and we live in Italy. As you know, we love to cruise. For this reason, we like to review our cruise to help you choose the right one for you. Well, without any further ado, let's start our review of the Costa Smeralda from the boarding. We boarded our cruise in the city of Genoa in northern Italy. Genoa is one of the Italy's main cruise ports. The day that we boarded, there was some sort of protest in the city, and the taxi took a very long time to reach the port from our hotel, because most streets were closed for traffic. For this reason, at 10:45, when we arrived at the terminal, there was almost nobody there,
Except for us.
except for us. The whole boarding process was one of the quickest that we ever had in a very long time. It only took 10 minutes from the time we arrived to the time we were walking on the gangway. Pretty amazing, right? Well, I think it's time to vote for boarding, and my vote is a solid 5 out of 5. So, what's the more, Rick?
Yeah, I mean, it was so easy. We just practically slid right onto the ship. 5 out of 5. I mean, 10 minutes taxi to the ship. You can't beat it. All right, so time to move on to our next item to review on board the Costa Smeralda, and we're going to talk about the ship itself. Now, the Costa Smeralda is the sister ship of the Costa Toscana, a ship that we love and we've sailed on several times.
Yep.
The Costa Smeralda was built by Mayor Turku in Finland and launched in 2019. It's 337 meters long and 42 meters wide. The ship has a maximum capacity of 6,554 passengers and 1,646 crew. Like the Costa Toscana, the Smeralda runs on LNG, and this is a huge plus for the environment and for passenger comfort. In fact, even all the way aft, there's no smoke coming out of the smokestack, and it's very comfortable to sit in that aft area while the ship is sailing.
Absolutely.
Now, the layout of the ship is practically identical to the Toscana, and if you want to know more, check this video up here. But there are some minor differences in the color scheme and decor. We think that the decor inside the Smeralda is more elegant than the Toscana, and some bars and lounges look classier on the Smeralda. One of the major differences inside is on deck 7 towards the back of the ship, where on Smeralda you can find a museum of Italian design and products called CODI, or the Costa Design Museum. It is very nice and interesting, but it's also a bit of a waste of space, in my opinion.
A little bit.
Also on deck 7, just off the casino, you'll find a very nice bar, and while on the Toscana there, you'll have the Heineken pub. Now, one thing that we liked more on the Toscana than we do on the Smeralda was, well, at the bar all the way aft on the ship on deck 7. On Smeralda, the bar doesn't have any of the jacuzzis that are there on the Toscana. Instead, there are these huge round couches that take up really a ton of room. However, at night, they are lit up with the colors of the Italian flag, so they look pretty cool. And one thing we did notice that has changed since the last sailing on Costa Smeralda is that during the day, the area around the bar Superba on deck 7 has now become a special sun tanning private paid area with nice sunbeds and comes with food and drink service. And we would have loved to have tried this new feature, but unfortunately, the weather did not cooperate on this particular sailing.
One of our favorite features of the ship is the wide wraparound the walking area on deck 8, which is wonderful for a walk or to sit and lounge while having a drink. We even use it to suntan several times. In Genoa, we love the Costa Smeralda and we deeply enjoy the decor and the layout. The ship is classy, modern, and stylish.
Okay, so let's vote for the ship, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, I think my vote is easy. 5 out of 5 anchors. Andrea, what do you say?
Well, in my opinion, the Costa Smeralda is a wonderful ship, very elegant, classy, and spacious. So my vote is also a 5 out of 5 anchors. But hey, I'll be happy to say on either Smeralda or Toscana.
For sure, for sure.
Moving on to another aspect to review on board of the Costa Smeralda, and we will talk about the itinerary. Our 1 week cruise was the typical Western Mediterranean cruise that started in Genoa, then sailed to the port of Marseille in France, and then from there we then sailed to Barcelona, Spain. After Barcelona, we had 1 sea day before reaching the port of Cagliari in Sardinia, Italy. From Cagliari, we then sailed to the port of Naples, Italy, and then Civitavecchia, Italy, before heading back to Genoa. As we mentioned before, in all our Costa videos, passengers embarked and disembarked in every single one of these ports. However, the majority of passengers seem to be embarking and disembarking in Barcelona this time.
Mhm.
Even though we did this itinerary several times before and we know the ports really well, we're not doing it. It's easy, it's always incredibly fun, and doesn't take very much.
And it's a very good way to recharge the battery, so to
So,
speak.
okay, then for vote of the itinerary, and my vote is 5 out of 5 because I never get tired of visiting this port like Barcelona or Naples. So, what's the vote, Rick?
You're absolutely right. I love Barcelona. This is the classic Western Mediterranean itinerary. Starts in every single, all the nice ports like Barcelona, Cagliari, and Naples. My favorite city, right? And I loved every single one of them. So for sure, 5 anchors out of 5 for the itinerary. Okay, so let's move on to our next item to review, and let's talk about the cabin, right? For this sailing, we got the cabin 12207 on deck 12 midship. Now, we booked this particular cabin for a very specific feature, the huge balcony. In fact, the balcony on this particular cabin is almost as big as the cabin. So
Absolutely.
there's room for 2 sunbeds, 2 chairs, and a table with a ton of room to spare. Absolutely fantastic if you can get that one. And the rest of the cabin is the classic balcony cabin that you'd find on Smeralda and Toscana. Efficient, elegant, comfortable, but not very big.
No.
The closet space is limited, but for a 1 week cruise, I think it's enough. Also, the closet does have that hinge on one side that can pinch the clothes like a guillotine, so be watchful of that. Another thing to note is the fact that cabins on board the Costa Smeralda do not have a fridge, and they only have 2 small drawers, which is practically full because one of them holds the hairdryer. The bathroom is very nice and spacious. It's got a very nice shower, and probably, I think it's one of the best features of this class of ship. The TV in each cabin is probably the most advanced that I've seen or we've seen, with options to pick the language right from the main screen, and actually works.
Absolutely.
All right, so time to vote for the cabin, and I'm going to give it a 5 out of 5 because the balcony was just absolutely amazing. If it wasn't for that, I may have given it a 4 because of the small closet and lack of storage space. But you know what, Andrea, your thoughts?
Well, as you said, the balcony was fantastic. In and though on this particular sailing, we couldn't not take full advantage of it because of the weather was not the best. The rest of the cabin was the usual we have seen on this class of ship, so no surprises there. My vote is also 5 out of 5 because of the stunning balcony, which I loved. So let's move on to our next item to review on board the Costa Smeralda, and we will talk about the service. Service on Costa Smeralda was quite good. Everyone was attentive, friendly, and helpful. The only remark we have to have about the service was our cabin steward. He did his job, but that was about it. Maybe he was just shy or the language barrier, I don't know. He was never around. We tried to ask several times to leave some more extra towel in our room, but he never did. Don't get us wrong, the cabin was always clean and tidy, but we have never had a nice relationship that we had with other cabin steward in the past on board.
Yeah.
So that was the only one.
Yeah. But at the beginning, we did ask him to join our beds, and he
And
did that very
yeah,
fast.
he did. We are very happy to see Umberto and Alessia on board of the Sea Dream office, the Costa Future Cruise office, and we booked a new cruise with Umberto, and he was amazing as usual. He was able to suggest us some very good option for us, and we booked a nice cruise for next year with him. We stop at their desk almost every day to say hi and have a quick chat because we deeply enjoy talking to them on this particular cruise. We did not use the front desk very much, but on the couple of the occasion we were there, they were friendly and polite. On Costa Smeralda, like on Costa Toscana, Gold and Platinum Sea Club members have priority for the front desk. Basically, there's a kiosk where the passenger can scan their cards and receive a number. Guests are called by the front desk agents using the number system. Gold and Platinum member receive a special number that put them in front of the line. Unfortunately, we noticed several times that passengers did not use the number system and they just simply walked in front of the agents and they just start talking.
I think you mean they walked in front of all of the guests,
Yeah,
right?
pretty much.
Defeating the entire purpose of the system.
Pretty much. Lastly, as I mentioned in several Costa videos, Costa offered a dedicated host for each language spoken on board. On the ceiling, we were two Spanish, two French, due to the high number of Spanish and French passengers. This is a very good service, and passengers really use it a lot. We became good friends with the French host Maria, who was really nice and friendly. And on this last few days of the cruise, we became good friend with the English-speaking guest called Nadia,
You mean the guest host?
the guest host.
Yep. She was very nice.
She was really, really nice, and we even had lunch with her. So it's time to vote for service, and then we give the service a 5 anchors out of 5. In general, I was really happy with the service, and so what's the vote?
Yeah. I don't think there was really anything wrong with the service. I mean, that's 5 out of 5 for me. All right, so let's move on to another aspect to review on board the Costa Smeralda, and we'll talk about the cleanliness because the cleanliness is not always the same, right? Now, overall, the ship was in very good shape and very clean. And that was because we saw cleaning crew around all the time, cleaning and scrubbing practically everything. However, some of the carpets in the common areas did appear a little dated or in need of a deep clean or a replacement.
Yeah.
And we have heard from some crew members the ship is going for dry dock at the end of November. So I think most of these areas are probably going to be fixed. So when we sail again later on next year, we'll be able to see if that's been fixed.
Absolutely.
Right now, my vote for cleaning is a 4 out of 5 anchors. Andrea, your thoughts?
Yeah, some of the carpets look a little bit tired, but overall the ship was very clean and very well kept, especially considering the number of passengers this ship carries each and every week. So I'll give it a 4 out of 5 anchors.
Yeah, it's very, very true.
Let's move on to another aspect to review on board of the Costa Smeralda, and we'll talk about restaurants. Costa Smeralda has 4 main dining rooms, 3 Colombina, Meneghino, and Rugantino at the back of the ship on deck 5, 6, and 7. And the fourth one, Arlecchino, also on deck 6 midship. The first 3 are for all the passengers. They are all quite nice, very great decor, and decent space between tables. The fourth one is for all passengers except one section that is dedicated to the gold and platinum passenger, called the Club Bistro. The food at the dining room is the same all over the ship. Most dining rooms are open for breakfast and lunch with open seating, while at dinner they had first seating between 6:30 and 7:30 and second seating around 9 p.m. Because we are C Club Platinum members, we had breakfast and lunch at the bistro. The restaurant was never busy at all. Actually, most of the times there were like only few tables used. Service was quite good, fast, and efficient. At breakfast, they had a nice section of pastry, cereals, fruits, cold cuts, and breads to choose from. Also available were eggs, omelets, pancakes, and waffle at a la carte, and still included. At lunch, there was a nice salad bar and a section a la carte to choose from. We did like eating here for breakfast and lunch, even though we still prefer the Bellavista option. More about that later.
Yep, absolutely. Now, on deck 8, midship, there's the buffet. And this area is really big with several stations. The buffet is open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And there's also lots of tables on the main promenade outside on deck 8 that are used by the buffet for passengers who want to eat al fresco. Now, we did not eat at the buffet, but we have walked through it often and noticed that it was never really busy, even during the busiest times. So it's not as chaotic as we've seen on other sailings. Lastly, there's Bellavista. This is dedicated to the suite passengers for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Also, platinum passengers can reserve this restaurant for dinner at the time of booking. Non suite or platinum passengers can have dinner at this restaurant for a fee. And let me tell you, this restaurant is incredible. The ambiance is wonderful. It's quiet with a good amount of space between the tables, a huge open kitchen that's right there, and the best service possible. At this restaurant, they try to accommodate any request as best as they can. For example, one night I asked for a Greek salad. No problem. They made it for me, just like that. The menu at Bella Vista is almost the same as the other main dining rooms, with the few exceptions, right? For appetizers, they have these beautiful carts with a nice selection of cheese and cold cuts and salads and special dishes that are assembled tableside. They also have some special gourmet dishes that are only available at Bella Vista. Lastly, they also have two desserts, the tiramisu and the millefeuille, that are also assembled tableside. At embarkation night, we also asked for our favorite Italian sparkling wine. And one thing that was interesting is that they told us that it wasn't available. I'm like, what? We had the plus package, which should include it. But the following night, it became available again, and they just explained to us that they didn't receive the shipment in time for dinner service. I thought that was a little odd, but anyway, hey, you know what? Things happen. Problem was solved quickly, and there was no problem for the rest of the week. Lastly, the F&B director and the head chef always walked by the tables every single night to talk to the passengers and find out and double check if everything was good. I think that was a very nice touch.
Absolutely. After this very long chat, it's time to vote for restaurant, and my vote is 4 out of 5 for the Club Bistro and absolutely 5 out of 5 for Bellista. That restaurant is absolutely amazing and it's always surprised us. What's your vote, Rick?
Yeah, you're right. I also give the bistro a 4 out of 5. I mean, the restaurant is good, but so are all of the other ones, right? But Bella Vista, this is truly first class. I give it 5 out of 5 anchors. Actually, I'm going to give it my extra 5 anchors because the crew on Bella Vista were amazing. Also, I want to give a shout out. We want to give a shout out to our friend Steve. Hey, Steve, a waiter that we know for several times before, and we were very happy to see him at Bella Vista.
So, time to move to another aspect of our review of Border Costa Smeralda, and we'll talk about the food.
All right, so because you follow our channel, you know that we love the food on Costa. I mean, it is the best. On Costa Smeralda, we have to report that the food was exceptionally good. All very well prepared, well seasoned, and perfectly presented. Now, we at the Club Bistro and at Bella Vista, and both restaurants, the food was delicious. We did not eat at the buffet, but we did walk by it several times, and everything looked perfectly fine. And the desserts were absolutely phenomenal. On Costa Smeralda, just like all of the other ships, they were perfect. So you might have guessed that my vote for food, 5 anchors out of 5. Andrea, what do you think?
Well, you are perfectly right. The food on board the Costa Smeralda was amazing, and they totally deserve a 5 out of 5 anchors. So let's talk about another aspect to review on board of the Costa Smeralda, and we will talk about the bars and drinks. On board Costa Smeralda, there are several bars and lounges. All of them are excellent, and they serve pretty much the same drinks. On board, there are also some themed bars that offer different drinks. For this review, we'll focus mostly on these extra bars. The first one is the Campari bar located on deck 7 in midship by the Colosseum. This bar serves mostly Campari drinks and cocktails. It is a good venue, however, it's right in the middle of the passenger passage between the front of the ship and the casino, and for this reason can be really, really busy, especially at night when the Colosseum has a show. The second specialty bar is the Aperol bar located on deck 17 midship. This bar is dedicated to Aperol and Aperol Spritz drinks. This was one of the busiest bar before lunch and sea days and the evening at aperitivo time. Passengers loved the bar and everyone seemed to have a wonderful time here. During the sea day, Aperol also had a spritz making class on deck 17 at the Lido Caracalla by the pool, and passengers loved this activity and they were incredibly well attended.
Actually, I would like to join in next time. I think it would be fun if we did a spritz.
The third specialty bar is the Ferrari bar located on deck 8 midship by the Colosseum. This bar serves mostly Ferrari wines and some complimentary finger food. It is a wonderful place to grab a drink, however, the Ferrari wines are only included in my Drink Plus package. The last specialty bar that is worth mentioning is the Bar Superba, located all the way aft. In the evening, this bar serves premium drinks and cocktail in a wonderful atmosphere with a DJ playing music and lounging.
Yeah, lounge music.
This was our favorite bar for an after dinner nightcap, and we love this location. Again, most of the drinks served at this bar are not included in the My Drink package, but only in the My Drink Plus package. There are two more bars that we would like to mention. One is the Caffè Verignano, located right by the Colosseum on deck 6. This is probably the busiest bar of all, especially in the morning for coffee or when people come back on board after excursions. For this reason, sometimes it takes a little bit longer to get a drink at this bar, especially at the tables. The last place we would like to mention is the Osteria Frescobaldi. This is located on the 8th, right by the Piazza Trastevere, all the way at the front of the ship. Technically, this is a wine bar that also offers Toscan-inspired food. We went there the first night of the cruise, and unfortunately, we noticed that then now most of the venue is dedicated to the restaurant, and some very few small tables, are still available for drinks. So
Maybe that's the direction that they're going.
maybe, but I still enjoy it there. So now let's talk about the drink packages that Costa offers. The two most important ones are the My Drinks, that is the basic drinking package that includes water, a selection of white, red, and rosé wines, draft beer, sodas, coffee, and cappuccino, and other coffee drinks, some cocktails, and liquor. We believe that this is a wonderful value, especially when bought at the time of booking, as part of the all-inclusive fare. However, if you truly want to experience some of the best selection of drinks at sea, you will have to upgrade the Divide Drink Plus package.
Yeah, if you want to have something a little bit more than white or red.
The selection included in this package is truly fantastic, with some incredible red wines, white wines, rosé wine, and champagne on top of top shelf liquors. Also, on this sailing, we discovered that with the My Drink Plus package, it is possible to order drinks in the cabin free of charge.
I know, I discovered I could have ordered champagne to the cabin for free.
Yeah.
Yeah, things you discover after more than 30 Costa Cruises. It's possible also, of course, to upgrade to the My Drinks Plus package on the Costa portal. It's probably going to be cheaper than doing it on board. And that's because Costa often runs sales
Packages.
online first.
Yeah. Lastly, there are several other type of packages available that you can accommodate every type of passenger and budget. For example, there's a zero alcohol packages for passengers that do not drink alcohol, or the My Drink Young for teenagers that include sodas, water, and juices and coffee for youth and teenagers. Lastly, on the ceiling, we noticed that several bars now offer a selection of chips, candies, and even cigarettes. We have never seen this before, and we found that kind of interesting. So it's time to vote for bars and drinks, and I think Costa Smeralda deserves a 5 anchors out of 5 for the bar selection. It's wonderful, and My Drinks Plus is a real treat. What's your vote, Rick?
Yeah. So as I said before, I cannot cruise anymore without the My Drinks Plus. Package is too good. And regarding the bars, well, I mean, I love spending time at the Bar Superba, which is all the way at the end, while looking at the sea and enjoying a nice glass of Gewürztraminer and not white. So yes, 5 anchors out of 5 for the bars. Okay, so let's move on to our next aspect on board the Costa Smeralda. let's talk about the specialty restaurants. Costa Smeralda has several specialty restaurants. And let's start our review from the one that's the most unique in the fleet. That is the Osteria Frescobaldi. Now, you mentioned earlier um, this restaurant, and now we should review it. So, this restaurant is located on deck 8 at the front of the ship. Now, in the afternoon and early evening, it's a wine bar that offers Frescobaldi wines by the glass or by the bottle. They do have a sommelier that can help you navigate through the wine menu, and they also offer wine tasting. Around dinner time, this is when the place starts to turn into a restaurant that serves more modern Tuscan food. Now, we tried this restaurant back in 2023 and absolutely loved it. For this reason, we decided to try it again for this sailing. Actually, we went here with some friends that we had on board. You know who you are. And I have to say, we were very impressed by the quality. Now, the pièce de résistance of this restaurant is the Fiorentina. This is not a typical T-bone steak you'd get back in the States. A Fiorentina is much bigger, more tender, juicy, and perfectly cooked. And they cut it for you into all these little bite-sized pieces. Also, Fiorentina is meant to be shared among friends. Actually, for me, the first time I had it was probably the most memorable dishes I ate on board a cruise ship, and I think it's got excellent value, so way to go there. And then next to Osteria Frescobaldi, you can find the Archipelago restaurant. This is a restaurant where three Michelin-starred chefs present their own tasting menu. Archipelago offers a free lunch for platinum members on Sea Day. Also, during lunch, one of the menu does not have seafood. So, for this reason, we can go and we love to do it. As you know, Andrea doesn't eat seafood. Now, the real ambiance, it's very classy, it's modern, it's quiet, and you have the same sommelier that helps you pair the dishes with the right wine. And the food, incredibly presented, tasty, and very modern. We both had the Barbieri menu, the one without seafood, and we both deeply enjoyed it. And I think it's also worth mentioning that no matter what drink package you have, the drink packages don't work in that restaurant. But if you buy a bottle of wine, it doesn't matter. Doesn't cost that much. Now,
And we have discount as well.
yeah. Now, on the Costa Smeralda, there's also the Teppanyaki restaurant on deck 8 in the front of the ship. We love this restaurant, but on this sailing, we did not try it. We did notice, though, that it was always very busy. Also on deck 8 next to Teppanyaki is the pizzeria called Pumidoro. We had pizza here several times before, but again, on this sailing, we did not. Usually the pizza at Pumidoro is delicious, and, from what we saw, it looked perfect this time as well.
Yeah.
On deck 7 midship, next to Campari Bar, there's also the Sushino restaurant. They serve sushi a la carte, or as all you can eat. The restaurant is very small, but it's always busy, and we did not try it on this sailing either. But we've eaten there several times before, and it looked very legit. Now,
We have Bellavista, we don't go there.
now when you have Bella Vista, that's all you want to eat at. Now on deck 16 by the pool, there's also the Salty Beach burger joint that offers gourmet burgers and street food for a small fee. We also did not try this venue, but it looked fine. Lastly, on deck 17 outdoors, there's also the Kiki Poke stand that was closed due to weather, at least when we saw it, as well as the salad bar on deck 18. I don't know if they were open, but we never saw it.
No, it was always closed. It was too for cold.
Yeah. So after this long review, let's review the specialty restaurants. 5 out of 5 anchors, and I absolutely love their lunch at Archipelago. I think it's a very nice treat, or as they say in Italy, a coccola.
The cocktail.
Coccola, yes. Andrea, what do you think?
Well, I'm glad we were able to go to the archipelago for lunch with a non-seafood menu, even though it is not my favorite type of food. The ambience is nice, but I definitely prefer much simpler food. I love the Frescobaldi very much, and to me, it is a restaurant that should be added to other ship as well because it's quite nice and very exceptional. So my vote is 5 to 5 anchors for specialty restaurant. So, time to review another aspect of our cruise on board of the Costa Smeralda, and we will talk about entertainment and shows. Because you're a subscriber of our channel, you know that we deeply love Costa parties. We truly think that Costa has some of the most epic parties at sea. However, this particular sailing, we did not attend any party. The reason is very simple. We took this cruise to rest, relax, and recharge the batteries. And because of this, we were in bed almost every night at 10 o'clock.
Wait. We did go to the French party and it was packed. They were having fun.
Yeah, with 5 minutes. Sorry, folks, if we are not able to review this aspect of our cruise, but probably you can go ahead and watch some of our old Costa reviews to check out how much fun the parties on Costa are. And maybe while you're there, you should consider hitting the subscribe button if you like our videos.
Yeah, that is very good advice. But yeah, I would say the parties were perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Now, on this sailing, we did watch a couple of the shows and we enjoyed them. We would have liked to have seen more, but there is a problem with this ship. Finding a good seat at the Colosseum some nights was almost impossible, to the point that we just stopped trying and we were just skipping the shows altogether. On this sailing, we also noticed that they were also live streaming the shows in the other theater at the front for passengers that were not able to find a seat at the Colosseum. Because of the fact that we were not able to see any party and because we only saw a couple of shows, I think that maybe we shouldn't vote for this category, but I honestly didn't see anything wrong. We always had a good time.
We're just in bed at 10.
Okay, just assume it was a 5. Okay, so let's move on to our next item to review on board the Costa Smeralda to talk about the internet, because the internet is very important.
Yeah.
Now, the internet on board was fast, reliable, and stable. We only noticed one slow down a little bit when we were leaving Barcelona, but there was a massive storm outside. Other than that, we were very happy with it. And on this particular sailing, our cruise fare included the social media internet package. With this package, it's possible to use apps like WhatsApp, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Messenger, and many of the other social media platforms. For most passengers, I think this is more than enough to stay connected, especially considering that on this itinerary, we were in port pretty much every day. However, if you need to check your email or browse the internet or watch Netflix, it's necessary to upgrade to the full internet package. Now, hear me out. Because we had the social media package included, the upgrade was very affordable at only €49 per person per week. And we were more than happy to pay that and upgraded almost immediately. Now, there is one thing that we noticed on this sailing was that the line at the internet point to set up the phone was insane every day. It seems to us that passengers are still having difficulty connecting for the first time. I'm not sure why, because it just works. Maybe we should have a video tutorial in the cabin to help folks with this. We might avoid some of the big lines. But anyway, time to vote for the internet. My vote is a 4 out of 5, just because I still think that if we didn't have the package included in the price, or at least the social media package, the internet price would have been too expensive. Andrea, what do you think?
I think I also give a 4 out of 5 anchors for the internet. The speed on and the stability is really good, and the fact that we had the package included in our fare was very, very nice. Regarding the long lines at the internet point, I can see how passengers like my mom, or for example, would need someone assistance to set it up because it's
Some people are just afraid to try, right? They're afraid they're going to break something.
time to review another aspect of our cruise on board of the Costa Smeralda, and we'll talk about excursions. On this particular sailing, we noticed that Costa improved their excursion immensely. First, there are 4 different categories of excursion to choose from, and this can be done from the My Costa portal as well. The first type is called See It All, and the idea of this type of excursion is to see the whole city in one easy swoop, stress-free. With this type of excursion, you see everything that really matters in each destination in a totally relaxed way. These type of experiences are perfect for passengers that visit the port for the first time and want to see the main attraction in one relaxed way without any stress. The second type is called icons. In this type of excursion, you can discover one or more iconic site of a city in depth with an expert guide that tells you what you're seeing. With this type of excursion, you have the opportunity to explore places that are often sold out and that the opportunity to go inside and skip the line for these places. For example, in Barcelona, visit the Sagrada Familia with the guide that explains you what are you seeing and the hidden secrets of the site. The third kind is called Fun for Families, and as you guessed, these experiences are designated for families with children, and they are designed to please the whole family, parents and children. With this kind of excursion, parents and children can enjoy the together in a very, very relaxed, fun, and safe environment. And lastly, there are the extraordinary excursions. These are excursions that only Costas offers, and they are once in a lifetime experiences.
Tell me about it.
I will. These are the ultimate experience for passengers that truly want something unique. And this is what we did in Barcelona. We decided to do the dive into the shark tank at the Barcelona Aquarium. So let us describe the in-depth how the experience went. In the morning, Nicole from the excursion department took us at the Barcelona Aquarium. Just the two of us with the guide, which was quite nice. We had plenty of time to visit the aquarium. That was very nice, but we saw aquarium before, so it was just okay. We saw the shark tank from outside, where the general public is, and we saw the cage where we're going to be. At noon, we met with the aquarium guide that was going to take us in the tank, and he took us backstage. This alone was quite interesting to see how an aquarium behind the scene works. And for this whole experience, there was just the two of us and another person from Barcelona. Our aquarium guide told us that they only allow 4 people at a time to do this experience each and every day, so which is quite awesome, by the way. By the time we approached the tank, there was some stingray that came to the surface to say hi, and this was particularly cute, I think.
Yeah, I think maybe they were thinking you were gonna feed them or something.
Probably, but
Yeah.
I thought they were kind of cute. We then suited up with the wetsuit, mask, and scuba gear and jumped into the water.
I think this might be the best Costa experience ever.
Yeah.
All right, good to go. We're gonna go take a look at the sharks.
The guy told us that we were going to go in the cage to look at the shark, and then, if we felt comfortable enough, he would take us outside of the cage in the tank and swim among the sharks themselves.
Wow, cool.
Yeah, we're like, oh yes, count us in. Well, after a few minutes to get comfortable in the very cold water, he took us in the cage, and from there he took us one at a time for a swim in the tank among the sharks. And wow, that was an adrenaline rush. Looking at this wild fish in the eyes, few centimeters away from us, was quite extraordinary. The guide took us for a full loop around the tank that lasted more than 5 minutes.
It felt a lot longer.
Yeah, and for each one of us. We did not expect this at all, and let us tell you, we were ecstatic about the whole experience. You can truly say that this was for sure the best excursion we ever had done in our 44 cruises, with several different cruise lines. First, it was really amazing to be able to experience the backstage of the aquarium, hence the swim with no other people around. Second, the opportunity to leave the cage and swim in the actual tank a few centimeters away from the sharks was a once in a lifetime experience, trust us. Third, I think it will never forget the looking at the shark in the eye.
Huh?
I have to admit, for a few seconds, a little fear crossed my mind.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the shark was like right there looking at me. It's like, oh. Let us tell you, if you haven't visited Barcelona before and you don't care to go and see the Sagrada Familia or La Rambla, swimming with the shark is an experience that you will never forget.
True.
Thank you, Costa, for letting us enjoy this. Was truly, truly amazing.
Yes, full disclosure, they did send us on this excursion. It was an amazing experience no matter what.
And we surely will do it again.
Yes. Now, regarding excursions, we should also mention another option that Costa offers now, which is I think, very good idea. It's called the Costa Go Round. Basically, these are a hybrid between a transfer from the port to the city and a hop on, hop off bus. Basically, it's a transfer that does a few extra stops in the city to allow passengers to visit the most important monuments and then catch the bus one last time to go to the next destination. These go rounds are very well priced and very efficient. And I think this is a very good idea, right? And in some ports, they work very well, extremely well. Okay, so after this really long review, do you really need to know what we think about the excursions?
Well, mine is 5 out of 5, no doubts. What's it about, Rick?
Yeah, well, as you said, swimming with the sharks was probably the best cruise excursion we've ever done. So, no question, 5 out of 5 anchors for me.
Rick, wait, I want to use my Andrea specials for excursion, give the extra 5 anchors because I still remember the look that the shark gave me, and it was pure adrenaline. Trust us, it was unbelievable.
I'd probably give you the same look if I saw you swimming. All right. Okay, let's move on to another item to review on board Costa Smeralda, and we'll talk about the store. The stores on board Costa Smeralda are scattered around decks 7 and 8. Now, there isn't a Galleria style area like we've seen on other Costa ships. On board, you will find the usual types of stores like the clothing, the jewelry, the watches, the sunglasses, the bikinis, the perfumes, and all of the Costa merchandise. Oh, and don't forget about the perfumes, right? Now, one very important thing to mention is that finally Costa now has a very nice selection of toiletry items at their stores for passengers to buy. And I think this is a really good addition, and maybe someone listened to us finally. So let's vote for the stores. I think my vote is a 5 anchors out of 5. I'm perfectly happy with everything that I've got. And if I run out of shaving cream now, I can just go downstairs. Andrea, what do you think?
Well, the stores on Costa Smeralda are quite nice. I like the selection of toiletry, and all of the staff at the stores was really, really friendly. So my vote for the store is a 4 out of 5. Time to review another aspect of our cruise on board of the Costa Smeralda, and we will talk about the casino. The casino on board the Costa Smeralda is located on deck 7 midship. It's nice and spacious with a good amount of tables and slots. The casino is nice and bright, and overall feels very adequate for the ship. It is important to know that at the casino on board of the Costa ships are all 100% smoke free. We noticed that the casino was always really busy on the sailing, and people were enjoying gambling very much.
Maybe they were winning a little bit.
Maybe we did pay a little bit on the sailing, and overall we had fun, even though we did not win anything. So, time to vote for the casino, and my vote is a 5 out of 5 anchors. What's the vote, Rick?
Yeah, I mean, I always like going to the casino. I don't think I won anything, or if I did, it was just, tip money. But I do like the ambience, and the fact that the casino is 100% smoke free makes it inviting. So I too give it a 5 out of 5. All right, so moving on to our next item to review on board Costa Smeralda, we're going to talk about my favorite area of the ship. You know what it is? Let me know in the comments below. It's the spa. The spa on board the Costa Smeralda is located on deck 16 towards the back of the ship. This spa is huge. There is a wonderful jacuzzi, it's big, with plenty of chairs to relax in all around. There's a very nice salt room with comfy chairs as well, a dry sauna, a hammam room, and a snow room that has real snow. The spa has plenty of windows that allow people to just look at the sea while relaxing. And the spa was always incredibly clean and in perfect shape. And on this sailing, the water in the hot tub I found was the perfect temperature. And the hammam, lots of steam, right? Now, the spa was really busy or got busy around 5 p.m. So at that time, it was a little bit difficult to find a chair. Now, on this sailing, we were very happy to see an old friend, Sandra, the spa manager, that we knew from several other cruises. And we were very happy to catch up with her. We used the spa every single day, and we absolutely loved it. Probably, I think we spend more time at the spa than anywhere else on the ship.
Should be the restaurant.
Well, yeah. Now we did have a couple of massages each, which are very nice, and also I had a relaxing head rub right in front of the windows outside by the jacuzzi. That was so amazing. So overall, we loved the area. There is one design flaw, of course, is that the salt room is just below the water slides. So sometimes when there are kids playing, it gets noisy and it gets difficult to relax, but it's not the spa's fault. Anyway, time to vote for the spa. And of course, it's a 5 out of 5 anchors. And a big thank you to Sandra for making our cruise even better. Andrea, what do you think?
But my mood is also a 5 out of 5. I love the area. It is nice, inviting, with plenty of natural light, the perfect place to relax. And as we said, we spend more time there than anywhere else on the ship. Moving on to another aspect of our cruise on board the Costa Smeralda, we'll talk about the Sea Club. The Sea Club is Costa's loyalty program. It has some very good perks, and we strongly recommend that you sign in if you're thinking about cruising with Costa. As a member, you can get some really good discount on food and other items on board just by signing in, even your first cruise. The program has 5 levels. The blue is the first-time cruisers, the bronze level that is for passengers that from 1 to 5,000 points. The silver is for passengers that between 5,001 and 30,000 points. The gold level for passengers that have more than 30,000 and less than 140,000. And then there's the platinum for passengers with more than 140,000 points. The points are awarded based on the type of fare, the type of cabin, and on the onboard spending. We'll do a separate video about the Costa Club soon, because in our opinion is one of the best cruise loyalty programs that we know of. For this video, we just want to mention the perks we received with our platinum status. First of this one was Rick's favorite perks, a full day at the spa with a free 50 minutes massage. Not bad. Second, the Bellavista for dinner, which is alone probably the most amazing perk. Third, a nice bottle of Ferrari wine in the cabin at embarkation. Fourth, a nice gift, a beautiful blue wardrobe backpack that is really, really, really nice. Fifth, the lunch of Archipelago, which we deeply enjoyed. Sixth, a free bag of laundry with 25 items that is more than enough for a one-week cruise. Lastly, another wonderful perk is the Bag Express service. The service is wonderful, especially if you are catching the train to board the cruise, like we do.
Mhm.
Basically, Bag Express pick up your bag at home or you can drop them off at any UPS location, and magically you find your bag in front of your cabin at embarkation. Same thing at disembarkation. You leave your bag outside of the cabin the night before disembarking, and voila, a few days later, your bag are delivered at home or at the UPS depot. Yeah, which is really nice.
Yes.
So on top of all of that, we had 2 parties to attend. The C Club party that is for all C Club members, and the VIP party with the captain, the hotel manager, and other officers. We attended both parties and we deeply enjoyed them, and we were able to chit-chat with the captain and other officers.
Which we've known of from before, right?
Yeah. So it's time to vote for the C Club, and my vote is 5 out of 5 for sure. I really like the program, and I really believe that is one of the best loyalty programs in the industry. What's your vote, Rick?
Yeah, well, by the way, that backpack is mine, eh? Just FYI. I absolutely love it. So no question, 5 out of 5 for me as well. Well, folks, we are getting close to the end of this review of the Costa Smeralda. The next item that we're going to talk about is price and value, because it is very important to us and important to you too, I think. Now, for this 1 week cruise on board Costa Smeralda in a balcony cabin and the all-inclusive package, which included all of the gratuities, we spent a little over €1,000 per person. The price also included the social media package, which alone cost €63 per person. And on this sailing, the casino gave us a €700 credit per cabin. I don't know how we got it, but we were very happy to say thank you. We think overall that the price was a wonderful value considering the stunning food, amazing ship, and the beautiful balcony and all the perks that came with it. Time to vote for price and value, and I say it is an easy 5 out of 5 anchors. Andrea, what do you think?
Well, for that price, I would just live on board. I could, if I could. So 5 anchors out of 5 for me as well. Moving on to our last item to review on board the Costa Smeralda, and it is the saddest part of the whole cruise, the disembarkation. As mentioned before, we shipped our bag with Bag Express the night before disembarking, so we were traveling with just carry-ons. We had to vacate the cabin by 9 a.m., so we left our bag at the bag drop-off inside of the ship, and then we went for breakfast. Now, because our train was until 11:30 in the morning, We just stayed on board until 10:45. We just walked around the ship saying goodbye to all our friends on board. By 10:40, we disembarked, and in less than 5 minutes, we were out and all done. The whole process was quick, easy, and very efficient. So, you can guess, time for board disembarkation, 5 anchors out of 5. The whole process couldn't be easier. Rick?
Yeah, disembarkation was as sad as any other disembarkation could possibly be, which also means a 5 out of 5. Now, it's time to wrap up this long and detailed video. And if you've stayed with us until now, thank you. I have to say that we had an amazing time on board the Costa Smeralda, and we were able to meet up with old friends and meet new ones. We definitely relaxed and recharged the batteries. And even though we didn't go to any party or watch many of the shows, we did have an amazing time just doing nothing at the spa. We would like to take this moment to thank each and every one of the crew for making our vacation wonderful. And we look forward to being on board soon. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
Ciao!
Ciao.